Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and for this Reseller Friday I want to talk to you about taking action, taking massive action. I've mentioned this in previous Reseller Friday videos, but I want to reiterate this here because it's so vitally important to your business. You must be taking massive action. I know many people get into reselling because they think it's going to be easy. Now it is easy, don't misunderstand me. But their form of easy is to lay around scrolling social media, watching TV, watching movies, playing video games, watching sporting events, just doing all kinds of things besides work. And that is perfectly fine if you just want to have a hobby and not a real business. That's perfectly fine if you just want to make a few $100s compared to thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Because the reality is your effort you put in, and it's one of the most beautiful things about the reselling business is that the amount of effort you put in proportionately generates back to you a comparable amount of wealth multiplied. It's not you put $1 worth of effort in, you get $1 back. You put $1 worth of effort in, maybe you get $10 or $100 back. You have a great blessing of business where you can literally double your money day in and day out if you'll put the effort in. Now, from talking to many resellers out there, they aren't doing that. They are putting in the minimal amount of effort, enough to scrape by, enough to just do enough. This time of year in Q4 is one of the busiest times of year for resellers, and there are resellers talking about their vacations that they're going to be taking soon. They're literally shrinking back, pulling back right at the edge of success. It's that old 3 foot from gold story. They're digging, they're digging, they're digging, and they get 3 feet away from striking gold and they give up. They sell the mine, they go on and do something else. They go on a vacation, take a break. Somebody else takes over. They dig just 3 more feet. They strike gold. And they make millions. Now, I'm not saying you're going to make millions as a reseller. You can. It's just all up to you. There are large, gigantic companies, and yet you can get on these marketplaces and compete with them. If you have the best product, the best price, the fastest shipping, you can literally compete with multi-billion-dollar companies. And you could be doing it from one little bedroom in your house. But one way you'll never do that is if you shrink back, is if you stop taking as much action. I must emphasize you must take more action. I wrote a whole book about work and how important it is, and I would encourage you to get it. It's called Work Smarter and Harder. It's endorsed by Brian Tracy. It's a great book. But I'm not here to sell you a book. I'm just here to tell you that should be your motto, to work smarter and harder. Everybody talks the old lazy way, work smarter, not harder. But you should do both, especially this time of year. There's profit you are just literally letting slip through your fingers if you're doing anything but taking the most amount of action you possibly can during this Q4 time. Quarter 4 for resellers is the time of year to make the most money. It's the same in the regular brick and mortar game. It is when they make the most money. So why shouldn't you have the most items listed possible? Why shouldn't you have the best prices possible? Why shouldn't you have the most engagement with your customers? Are you using the platforms to your advantage? Are you sending offers out? A lot of resellers don't. Are you doing promoted listings? A lot of resellers don't. Are you sending newsletters? Are you doing this? And are you taking advantage of the tools the marketplaces have given you to get more sales? You need to be doing it all. I'll get people sometimes ask me, well, should I do promoted listings or should I send a newsletter? It's not or, it's yes to both. You should be doing promoted listings and you should be doing newsletter. Now I have to be clarifying about promoted listings because if you have a one-of-one item, you don't need to do promoted listings for that because it's going to sell itself if it's in demand. If you have a super high in demand item, the latest iPhone, you don't need to do promoted listings for that. It's going to sell if your price is around the market price or a little bit lower. So there are obviously things you don't need to do any kind of promotion for. But probably most of your items are not those easy slam dunk sales. They might take a little more promotion. There might be a little more competition out there in the marketplace, and price alone is not going to get you there. So promoted listing could help push you over the final threshold to get the sale. My point is not you don't have to do any promoted listings if you don't want to. Doesn't matter to me. Do whatever you want for your business. But understand, if you have a tool available to you that could get you more sales, why are you not taking advantage of it? Why are you not taking more action in that regard as well? The simplest thing you can do is send offers out. And I've had people tell me, well, I can't send a 10% offer out. Then I'll lose all my money. My friend, if you are selling items that you can't send a 10% discounted offer out on, you have no business selling that item. The only exceptions would be if it's some sort of, like a house or a car or something. Your profit percentage may be less on those, and maybe you wouldn't send offers out for that. But for most resellers, you have a serious problem if you can't let go of 10% of the item's price, because that's going to keep you from being profitable or not. That kind of item shouldn't be sold at all. It should never have been listed if it has that little profit in it. I just want to encourage you today, my friend, take action. Get out there and take more action. And when you think you've taken enough action, take even more action. Get out there and get busy. Double up your sourcing. Double up your listing. If you're hiring people, double up your hiring. Do whatever you need to do to get your business in high gear, finding the most items, listing the most items, and selling the most items. My friend, I encourage you today, take massive action. Please hear me out. Do not delay. Start taking massive action. Now, I don't care if you're watching this video at any time of year. It doesn't matter what time of year it actually is. This applies to any particular time, any season. You should be listing more, getting more done, even in the middle of summer slowdown, quote unquote. You should be listing more, getting more done, and getting more sales. That's the beauty of it. If you list more high quality items that people have desire for, you'll get more sales. There's no mystery here. If you're listing a bunch of junk that nobody wants, that has very little profit, so you can't even offer them a good deal on it, you're going to struggle. But if you take massive action, you go out and source more, you list more, and you get more sales as a result. It is the very simple law of sowing and reaping. Get out there and take more action, my friend. I pray this video was a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.